You're good to go.
Hello and good afternoon. I'm Rich Grishey, District Governor for District 7190 in upstate New York. Welcome to what we hope will be the first of many conversations about how we as Rotarians and as citizens of the world need to be in the forefront of developing and implementing solutions to the challenges facing our environment. The purpose of today's conversation is to share with you about the challenges we face, describe some examples of how you can help address those challenges, and encourage you to take steps to begin making a difference. You will see that everyone can do something by yourselves, with your families, with your clubs, and with your communities. And we are going to present practical, doable examples to spark your imagination and hopefully get you started on taking some actions. Start where you are. Start with what is doable. And let me thank all of our participants and presenters today. We are fortunate to have people from all around the globe: New York, California, Haiti, the Philippines, Pakistan, England, and Northern Ireland, just to name a few. And now I'd like to introduce our Master of Ceremonies for this conversation, Niskayuna, New York Rotarian, Dr. Robert McKenzie. Thank you.
Thank you, District Governor Rich. It's so nice to see so many Rotarians and guests from here in New York and around the world. We have a lot to cover and our time is limited. Our session is being recorded and we will email everyone afterwards with a link to this recording. We will not be taking live verbal questions until the breakout sessions, so your Zoom will be muted unless you are a speaker. However, at any time during the presentations, You can open your chat box to type a question and provide your email address so the speaker can reply to you later. After all the presentations, we'll invite you to join our breakout sessions, the one of your choice. Our 5 sessions will immediately follow the topic presentations, and we will then reconvene as a group at 1:45 Eastern Time to receive our summary challenge and wrap things up. Now, unless you are a speaker, please mute yourself until you are in the breakout sessions. I will be giving speakers a 1-minute warning with this sign and 1 ring of the bell. Time is up. I will give 3 rings of the bell so we can move on to our next speaker without delay. Okay, are we ready? Janice, can you please run our next video?
Oops.
Janice, is it the sustainable development one?
Maybe I messed up. Janice is sustainable. Here it goes.
In September 2015, the United Nations made history when 193 member states unanimously adopted 17 Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, that serve as the centerpiece of its post-2015 development agenda. The goals are: no poverty, end poverty in all its forms everywhere; zero hunger, end hunger, achieve food security and improve nutrition, and promote sustainable agriculture; good health and well-being, ensure healthy lives and promote well-being for all at all ages; quality education, ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all; gender equality, achieve gender equality and empower all women and girls; clean water and sanitation, ensure availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all; affordable and clean energy, ensure access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all; decent work and economic growth, promote sustained, inclusive, and sustainable economic growth, full and productive employment, and decent work for all; industry, innovation, and infrastructure, build resilient infrastructure, promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization, and foster innovation; reduce inequalities, reduce income inequality within and among countries; sustainable cities and communities, make cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable; responsible consumption and production, ensure sustainable consumption and production patterns; climate action, take urgent action to combat climate change and its impacts by regulating emissions and promoting developments in renewable energy; life below water, conserve and sustainably use the oceans, seas, and marine resources for sustainable development; life on land, protect, restore, and promote sustainable use of terrestrial ecosystems, sustainably manage forests, combat desertification, and halt and reverse land degradation and halt biodiversity loss; peace, justice, and strong institutions, promote peaceful and inclusive societies for sustainable development, provide access to justice for all, and build effective, accountable, and inclusive institutions at all levels. Partnerships for the goals, strengthen the means of implementation and revitalize the global partnership for sustainable development. Learn more about SDGC/A by visiting www.sdgcafrica.org. Stay connected through Twitter at SDGC Africa and Facebook through our page, the Sustainable Development Goals Center for Africa.
Okay, so now we see how the Sustainable Development Goals from the UN and Rotary are aligned. But to set the stage, please welcome Lawrence Penna, Secretary of the Niskayuna, New York Rotary Club, along with Bella Wheeler, a high school student at Burnt Hills, Boston Lake in upstate New York. Lon and Bella, you now have 10 minutes.
Thank you very much, Dr. McKenzie. I've shared my screen. Is it working? And I'll start the presentation. Looking good?
Looking great.
Great. Well, there's about 60 of you out there, and I want to say hi to those of you that are my great friends, dear friends, and those of you that I'm sure will become dear friends. We just looked at the sustainability goals. Rotary had 6 areas of focus. We just added the 7th one, the environment. In my mind, all of these goals can be summarized in just two sentences. Our goal is to end suffering now and for generations. We have to do it sustainably. Now, my story, I'm 71 years old. I've heard about the climate crisis for years, but I didn't appreciate the urgency, and I certainly didn't think there was something that an individual could do. And there's only, the temperature rise is so small, just a few degrees. Isn't that just part of the natural cycle? And I knew that the polar bears were losing their homes as well as a lot of other species. But again, I didn't know what I could do. But today, I think it's the most important issue we face. And I think there's a lot that we can do as individuals. And with the power of Rotary, there's so much we can do. There's no doubt that it's real. We know the ice is melting. We know the seas are rising. National Geographic predicts that coastal cities will need to be abandoned. In just 80 years. That's in the lifetime of my grandkids. That's Cambridge, Mass. It's Miami, Florida, Oakland, California, 80% of New York City. The EPA predicts that these cities will be flooded annually. Now, I can deal with a foot of snow in my driveway, but I can't deal with a foot of seawater. Maybe I can deal with a foot of seawater once every 100 years, but not every year. These cities are going to be abandoned. There'll be a migration, like people are going to be devastated. They're going to be homeless. They're going to be on the move, and there'll be starvation. It's coming. Now, fortunately, the next generation understands the perils and urgency better than we do. So allow me to introduce Bella Wheeler. She happens to be the granddaughter of one of our club members. And we met Bella simply when we asked her if she would speak to our club about climate change from a teenager's perspective. She did her homework, and she did. And she's the one who inspired us to action, including creating this very Zoom conference. So, Bella?
Hello, I am Bella and I'm 17 and will be 18 soon, meaning I'm getting ready to attend college. So I'll be attending SUNY Environmental Science and Forestry to study environmental biology this fall. I have struggled with finding what career path I wanted to follow, but after watching A Life on Our Planet, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. So naturally, my first recommendation is that you watch the Netflix movie, A Life on Our Planet. In the film, the narrator, David Attenborough, shows us that that during his lifetime, human population tripled to 7.7 billion. Wilderness areas were cut in half, and 90% of the large fish stocks are gone. And if nothing changes, the world will run out of seafood in 2048. And the trends do not show any hint of leveling off, as you can see here.
So this is just a way to imagine what we're doing and how it's happening. Imagine a microwave oven and you've got a coffee cup, an empty coffee cup. You put it in the microwave oven, you turn the microwave oven on, the radiation bounces around inside, you pull it out, and the air in the cup did not get hot. The radiation had no effect on the oxygen and the nitrogen. Now put water molecules in there, or carbon, you can put in water, you can put in steam, you could put in CO2 if you could. Now it's different. Now that cup of water gets hot. So that's what we've put into the environment. The extra excuse me. So the extra H2O and CO2 that we've put in the atmosphere are doing the same thing. It's capturing the radiation that's bouncing off our planet. We've put it up there. It's equal to 480,000 Hiroshimas every day. The sun is hitting the earth is bouncing back, and it's capturing that much heat. Now, why don't we feel it? It's because most of the heat is going into the oceans, and we can measure the ocean increasing in temperature. I took these measurements and this amount of heat, and I calculated myself. 430,000 bombs in the ocean, 50,000 bombs in the air every day. Turns out, boy, I'm one of the guilty ones. I've known about this problem for 25 years, but I didn't take it seriously. I didn't. And I've been playing for the other team. My wife and I traveled the globe working at power plants in the fossil fuel industry. Some of them plants burned coal a whole railroad car every 8 minutes. There's huge tipping facilities to tip these over. Some burned oil that came in pipelines. Sometimes they came in by truck. Some burned natural gas in pipes that were as tall as me. I attended professional conferences where climate change was kind of scoffed at. I was playing for the wrong team. And one of my colleagues told me 25 years ago, who was a solar expert, he said, one solar farm in Nevada, just 100 miles by 100 miles, could provide the electricity for the entire US. So we've known for 25 years, but even then I just didn't get it. I didn't realize the damage we were doing until now. Thanks to Rotary, thanks to Bella.
I am shocked to discover that I'm guilty too. If everyone lived like I do, it would take 3.2 Earths to feed and support us all. My lifestyle would have been sustainable, but not when there are 7.9 billion of us. So, my fellow young folks on this Zoom call, we are more important than you think. The past generations did most of the damage, but now it's our job to clean it up. Not to contribute further to the damage. I realize this sounds like an unreachable goal, but look to history. When Neil Armstrong stepped on the moon, the men in the control room cheered, men who made the whole operation possible, the brains. While the average age of these men was about 26 years old, leaving them to be only 18 years old when President Kennedy said, "We choose to go to the moon." You see, it's not that impossible for us to achieve the impossible when we set our minds to it. A problem we can fix, per the UN, is 90% of fish stocks are fully exploited. Seafood, that means seafood, all the seafood would be gone in 30 years. If overfishing does not stop, the world will run out of seafood in 2048. If we have the will, our generation can restore the fish stocks if we simply set aside a third of coastal waters.
So thank you, Bella, for addressing the young folks, but now for us gray hairs in the meeting, if we care about our grandchildren, that it's like we said, this devastation is going to come in their lifetime. So if you go to a website like the UN website, my wife and I were shocked to discover that we are spewing 2.5 times more than the average American couple. So our task is to stop using the atmosphere like a sewer. The good news is that we can. And we can start small and work big. We can start immediately. All of us today can just eat sustainable fish, eat less meat, just eat meat every other day instead of every day, using LEDs, zooming more, flying less. It turns out that's a big one. Airplanes is a big part of my wife and I travel a lot, and that's one of our biggest CO2 generators. And reusing instead of buying new. So that completes our first session, and the rest of this 2-hour conference will give you a lot of great ideas and tools to come. It turns out that Bella and I are the speakers at the next presentation, so welcome back. We're presenting this segment on educating girls. Educating girls has a positive impact on all 7 areas of focus. That's why I'm not just showing basic education and literacy, but it improves everything. This is Ellie von Welsheim. She lives not too far from us, and she is the one who saw the fact that girls were dropping out of school for the inability to handle their menstruation, and she's the one who did something about it. We'll be talking about that. And Awesome Alice, this is a girl who was born in utter poverty in Nigeria. She experienced, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, Bella, this is you, you're talking.
That is okay. This is Awesome Alice. And Alice went from rags to Rotarian. Alice was born in Nigeria. She tells us that once every month she was kicked out of the house because she was dirty. Poor Alice would squat and drip over a patch of dirt for a few days, pestered by flies. Alice is putting this to a stop for hundreds of girls and soon thousands of girls.
So let's get started. We're going to talk, this is a climate conference, and here I am talking about girls' education.
Girls' education? What's that got to do with the environment?
Well, it turns out that the climate scientists rank educating girls as number 6. And even as David Attenborough said in the movie you referenced, improving girls' education stabilizes the human population. So that's why uneducated girls girls who are educated tend to have on average about 2 children, and ones who are uneducated tend to have 6 or 7 or 8.
Experts agree that girls' education is the silver bullet for climate change, overpopulation, poverty, injustice. So there's step 1, help girls manage menstruation. There are 3 steps for helping a girl get an education. Step 2, provide educational tools. Step 2 is for the girls to be able to go to school or learn vocation. Step 3 is to provide them with means for supporting themselves. We're going to come back to step 1, the Mooncatcher kits. Instead, we will start with step 2 to quickly provide you with lots of tools for educating girls.
I assume a lot of you Rotarians have projects where you're working with children. Do you need books? You can provide a 20-foot container, 20 pallets of books for only $1,000 to any port in the world. This is done by the Rotary Club of Parole near Washington, D.C. If you go to their website, bigbooks.org, they will ship these books to your port for only $1,000. Now their shipping costs alone are about $4,000. So this is a real bargain. They're doing all the fundraising as well as collecting, sorting, and providing these books for you. You can also provide books on a laptop, and you can get laptops for as cheap as $10 with kindergarten through 12th grade education built into it. The laptops have thousands of books, library books, high school textbooks, Khan Academy videos, encyclopedias, maps, and local Rotarians have gone to collect these computers, and we've shipped them around the world, hundreds of them around the world. For those of you who are elsewhere around the United States, this is a website, AFTRR, where you can locate other refurbishers near you. And for those of you who want the software in something other than English, you can go to learningequality.org and you can get very top-rate free educational software in many languages. By the way, all these references, all this information will be provided to you after these sessions. You'll be getting an email with all of these references. Another way to provide the same educational material is to put it on a $7 card. And then you can put it in a postage stamp for $1. And what we've been discovering is that even in the poorest countries, the teachers and even some of the students already have a cell phone. So if you can give them a memory card that they can put into their phone, they can also have access to thousands of books for $8. Lions clubs have been collecting eyeglasses for years. If you ask them, like our local Lions Club, they gave us 2,000 pair as a club project. We sorted them and we shipped them to Nigeria. Kids can't, it's hard to attend school if you can't see your book, read your books, if you can't see the blackboard. It's also nice if the schools have toilets and water. Not all of them do. But the things I've talked to you about before are very easy to do and cheap. This is a little more expensive, and takes a lot more planning. But if you visit WASH, our Rotarian Action Group on water and sanitation, they have in there the suggestions on what type of toilet to put on what type of environment. So they can teach, and you can get the information you need to tackle a big project like that from WASH. Step 3 is to provide means of support. Here you see a Rotarian in Nigeria that we met using the club locator, handing a microloan to a woman. Now our club member, Alice, funded this. So she essentially started a micro loan bank. I think she started it with, she donated $10,000, started the bank. And the Rotarians down there are managing it for her. And by the way, and that her $10,000 has been loaned, repaid, loaned out again. And I think it's been repaid the second time. And the only suggestion we gave to the borrowers was don't all start the same type of business. You'll be competing with one another. And they did. They just needed $100, $200, and they could start their own businesses. An easy way to do it is to use this website, kiva.org. It's microcredit made easy. If you go to kiva.org, you pick a borrower, make a $25 loan, you get repaid, and you repeat. And we pick it as a club project too. And Bella?
Seeds for Peace would be glad to provide your international projects with free garden seed packets. The Rotary Club of Burnt Hills Balsam Lake in New York will ship the seeds directly to your project location. Now we will talk about step 1. There are lots of organizations doing good work in this area, such as Days for Girls and AfriPads, but the one we want to focus on is the Mooncatcher Project. As mentioned earlier, they only cost $5. They are washable and last for years.
Here's a Mooncatcher kit that was just given to this girl in Malawi. And they just get so thrilled to get one. And the Mooncatcher mantra is we keep girls in school because they don't have to stop going to school because of a natural menstruation. They improvise if they don't have a means of holding, protecting themselves. They with leaves, rags, newspapers, mud, mixed with dung, squat and drip. You can imagine that this is not a healthy way to do that.
Helen, we're having a hard time hearing you. Can you get closer to your microphone, please?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Helen. Schoolgirls drop out for the inability to handle their menstrual flow. Wait, I need to move ahead. And this is Alice's story. Alice, do you want to talk about it? Alice has a little trouble with technology, so I'll talk for her. But she said her father had 14 wives, uncountable brothers and sisters, fetched water, and this is Alice, fetched water and firewood barefoot. She got locked out when she got her menstrual when she was menstruating, and she squatted and dripped, and there were flies. And she said, my father wanted me to marry at 60, a 60-year-old man. So she ran away at age 11. Now she's a Rotarian. And when she heard about the Mooncatcher Project, she hired 20 tailors to start making them and we provided funding for 400 kits, and they made them. But the tailors refused to be paid so they could buy more fabric to make 200 additional Mooncatcher kits, which they did, and it's an amazing project that she single-handedly did. And these are, we're just going to go through this briefly because Ellie's going to describe it and show you what it actually looks like. These are just, this is just what it looks like basically. There's the kit. This is the inside of the packet that they get.
So Ellie has given her design to the world, much like Jonas Salk gave his polio vaccine.
They're washable, so there's no landfill waste. The pads unfold into rectangles. It says squares, but they're rectangles. So they can be dried in the sanitary sun without embarrassment. And they also come with a small waterproof bag to wash the pads, which has a bar of soap in it. And with a cup of water, that's very precious. They can clean it, sanitize it, and it's all good. And it's unique because the girls can wear it without underwear. A lot of the girls in Africa and other developing countries don't have underwear, which we take so much for granted. And one kit lasts for years. If they're properly taken care of, they can last up to 5 or 6 years. The same kit fits all because it's adjustable, and Ellie will explain that when she does the breakout session. And again, $5 to make one. Also provides the girls for free. And here we are making them. They have a thing called sewing guilds, sewing bees, where in our community and elsewhere, we all get together and sew different parts, whatever the need is at the time, and we make the kits and then send them out to different countries. These are the participants, men, women.
My Helen has helped set up these moon bees for both district and club projects. Here's our district governor doing some measuring. He's the one who introduced our session today. And there's Ellie on the left.
And we even have grandchildren helping. Most are made locally, providing employment, and I mean locally in the country. And this is Ellie delivering a sewing machine to a school for the deaf. And they plan on that's in Malawi.
We provided sewing machines in multiple countries. They typically run about $125.
And I went to Pakistan. We go to Pakistan often, and I'm demonstrating a kit in Pakistan, and the girls are just riveted. They just were, and as you can see, there's many girls that attended this session, and they hope to have sewing education there. And so I handed them the pattern, and hopefully they'll be able to do it themselves.
Lon and Helen, this is Rob. You're 3 minutes over your allotted time. Can you please wrap up?
Sure. Okay. We'll just go through the slides now. And again, Ellie, we have the breakout session.
Okay, we're set.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lon and Bella and Helen. That's very impressive. Who knew that educating girls was so important to our environment? If you want to ask a question in the chat box, please also type in your email address so our speakers can get back to you. And if you want to attend the breakout session on this topic to learn more, you'll have that choice in about 45 minutes. Now, that may be a bigger project than you had in mind. Let's move on to a few slightly more modest projects where the environmental connection is also pretty straightforward. Our next topic is reducing household waste through composting. Please welcome John Fitzgerald, president of the Glen Falls, New York Rotary Club. John, you have 5 minutes.
John, you're muted. I'm sorry. I thought I got muted back on. At any rate, we got, you haven't heard anything I've said, so I'll jump right into where I was. Our Glens Falls Club's plan to promote composting began with a presentation to the club by the Warren County, New York County Zero Waste Initiative. The planning committee was formed by concerned citizens in Warren County, New York. A spokesman for the committee put on an interesting presentation of their efforts to develop, propose, and support revisions to our county's proposed municipal solid waste plan. Their proposals emphasize the reduction of waste and promotion of reuse and recycling with solutions that are both economically and environmentally friendly. So we were all very impressed by this program, and it really got us steering in the direction of something climate oriented, especially with the new seventh element from Rotary. So following this presentation, our club reached out to the Waste Initiative to seek their suggestions on how Rotary could help them. And they suggested various ideas, one of which was sponsoring a residential composting workshop for local residents. So, we put that into the thinking, banks on this. And what we came up with was, backyard composting provides the following environmental benefits. It can slash up to 1/3 of your normal household trash by using household waste such as fruit and vegetable leftovers, coffee grounds, hair and fur, eggshells, nutshells, and all sorts of paper products. It enriches the soil, helping the soil to retain moisture and suppress plant diseases and pests. It reduces the need for chemical fertilizers, and it encourages the production of beneficial bacteria and fungi to break down organic matter and create humus. Not the hummus you eat, but the rich nutrient-filled variety. It also reduces methane emissions from landfills and lowers our carbon footprint. So the objective of the workshop would be to educate local residents about these elements and the basic principles, and to give them some idea how to succeed in a food and yard waste composting project of their own. The workshop would motivate local residents to take first steps in doing their own. So we held the workshop virtually in March, and we had a great turnout, close to 40 attendees. We charged a modest registration fee so that we could put a little money in our foundation and to support future, climate-oriented ventures. But we also provided a gallon-sized composting bin to collect food and food scraps in the kitchen to transfer to a larger composting bin. So this is what this looked like here. And so everybody got a chance to see what we did. 2 local master gardeners put on the workshop and were very well received and very informative. Janice Holding was one of our workshop's A students. And Janice, can you share the screen with your outside composting bin that you put together? And that's got the bin, the white bins in the foreground are what we use to collect in the kitchen or in the house, and then transfer to the outside bin. So we really have had a great feedback on this and great response to the March workshop. So we're already in planning stages for a May workshop, to do this again and to reach out to more folks. So we're very excited about all this. We think it's going to make a great, impact on our community and what our community can do to, to get away from some of these climate problems. And, we'll get ourselves going on the right end. But with that, I say thank you. And Rob, I'll turn it back to you.
Thank you so much, John. You're helping us get back on track. If you have
Good.
on composting, please be sure to post them in the chat box with your email address so John can get back to you. Now, we move on to solar cooking, a way to reduce deforestation and reliance on electric or gas while improving air quality. Please welcome Roger Haynes from the San Diego, California Rotary Club and owner of Haynes Solar Cookers. Roger will be joined by Rose Bazile, chair of the local community center in Côte d'Ivoire, Haiti. Roger and Rose, you have 5 minutes.
Thank you, Rob. I give you greetings from San Diego. I'm a little distant from New York, but I want to let you know that we are interested in San Diego. I'm a member of the 5th largest Rotary Club in the world, the San Diego Rotary Club, with 500 members. So I want to give a message about solar cooking. If you want to save the environment, one simple way is to learn to solar cook. It's easy, it's exciting, and it gets you out of your hot kitchen. It will also reduce your air conditioning bill. But more importantly, outside the US, 2 billion people still cook over open fires. This causes deforestation, and an epidemic of lung diseases in women and children from breathing indoor smoke from cooking fires. My company, Haynes Solar Cookers, partners with NGOs all over the world to promote solar cooking. And we currently have projects in Uganda, Kenya, Mexico, and Haiti. You can see the solar cooker that we are distributing around the world behind me in my background. That's the Haynes One solar cooker. One of our wonderful Haitian partners is Rose Basile, who will take it from here. Rose?
Yes, thank you. I want to share my screen also. Oh, well, I don't think my screen is coming up as I would like to. Give me 1 second. Let me see. Okay. I don't see the share screen. Well,
DG Rich, does she have screen sharing turned on?
I have it on. I can see it. But anyway,
You should be able to, Rose. You're listed as a co-host.
yes, but I'm looking for the screen share.
The little green box at the bottom of your screen?
At the bottom of the screen, a little green box says share screen.
Yes, I've been looking for it, but unfortunately, it does not appear. It does not appear on my screen.
Oh,
I can.
okay.
I have nice pictures to show what we cook. Okay, let me see if this will do. I'm sorry, but I cannot see my, I cannot see that part of,
Why don't you tell us what you were going to show?
yes, I was going to, well, my goal, you know, I've been cooking, I've been solar cook for Haiti since 2008. My purpose of solar cooking is to save trees and for the environment of Haiti. And I am a Solar Cooker International advisor for Haiti. And I am empowered to cook. So I cook while I am working, I'm a solar cook, and I cook while I am working, while I am driving, and I cook for, I join with friends and families, you know, to cook. And especially in Haiti, we work with Notre Dame University, we work in Côte d'Ivoire, in Jacmel, and we want to have a solar cooker in every Haitian household. Why? Haiti is rich in sunlight, and the deforestation is overwhelming, less than 2%, and we need over 30% to function. So I believe that every Haitian, you know, the diaspora in Haiti, we should all, the world should join Haiti in helping Haitian with with a solar cooker in every Haitian household. So for this, we would like to ask, you know, all of you, you know, and we're very thankful that we had that opportunity and to help solar cooking in Haiti, to use our richest, you know, resources in Haiti to help with the environment. Thank you for the opportunity. If you want to know more work we're doing in Côte d'Ivoire, teaching women, teaching communities, providing education, you can visit our website, and it's KDCK CDF.org. I'm sorry, I have beautiful pictures of everything we're doing in Titayen, in Rivière Froide, but I couldn't show you my pictures. Thank you very much. And I will send, maybe this will join the in the video or the program that they're sending to you. I will send them to Janice and she will post them for you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you,
I
Rose.
work with Roger also. That's the only solar cooker now available for Haiti. And we've been using his cooker a lot. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rose and Roger. Rose, you may have an opportunity to show your slides during your breakout session.
Thank you. Very nice too, very important.
And so if you have questions, either attend the breakout or email them in the chat box with your email address. Our next topic is very simple but very effective. Did you know you could recycle used plastic water bottles into solar lights? We're so happy to be joined by Adrian Puntelar, President, and Paul Chapman, President-elect of the Metro Iloilo Rotary in the Philippines. Welcome, Adrian and Paul. You have 5 minutes.
Thank you, Rob. So let me
Thank you.
quickly share my screen. Okay, so the topic that I will be sharing with everyone today is how to recycle used plastic water bottles into solar lights. As you can see here, it's pretty much a simple ingredient. You just need a plastic bottle, water, galvanized steel, bleach, sun, and you'll have a solar light. So let me share with you a little bit about our club. So we are the Rotary Club of Metro Iloilo. We were chartered in January 1979. We are located in Iloilo City, Philippines, about an hour's flight from Manila, which is the capital of the Philippines. We are the biggest club in our district, which is District 3850. We currently have 86 members, and we were the first club in the district to achieve 100% Paul Harris Fellow Club Award. Now, at this point, let me share with you a short video on how on the Leader of Light movement that sparked the innovation that I'll be talking about.
Ang hinahangad po namin sa Liter of Light as a volunteer to be able to reach each and every home, to educate people, at the same time, makatipid po sila sa kuryente. And alam po nila na may alternative sources of energy na hindi po nila kailangan dumepende sa commercial electricity para lang magkaroon ng ilaw. Only 2% of the Filipinos know about alternative sources of energy such as solar.
Ano po yung nagawa nung bote ng ilaw dyan po sa bubungan natin?
Nakakatipid kami sa kuryente. Kasi pag-araw hindi na kami nag-iilaw dyan kasi yun na ang ilaw namin. Talagang maliwanag na maliwanag siya. Lalo pag sobrang ang init.
Lahat ito is open source namin para makatulong hindi lang para sa inyong bahay pero pangkabuhayan. Yan yung isang litrong liwanag. Isang solusyon para sa umaga pero mas magandang solusyon para sa gabi.
Maliwanag na.
Okay, so that was the video of Liter of Light. It's started by Mr. Ilac Diaz, who is a actor and turned social entrepreneur. He used plastic bottles to provide indoor lighting for the slum areas in the Philippines so that they can have light during the day. The idea actually started from Alfredo Moser, who's from Brazil. And the idea is that the water inside the bottle refracts sunlight, which will then be able to deliver around 40 to 60 watt of incandescent bulb. And the water bottle is supposed to last for 5 years. Now, I know that this conference is about climate change. And throughout the years since 2011, the Liter of Light movement has actually innovated or created modifications to the original solar bottle that they have. So one is the solar lamp, the other is the house of light, the other is a street light, which you could also use to light areas that do not where electricity that doesn't usually reach, and of course the bottle of light. Now, I've also provided references as to how you could build a solar bottle, just like what was shown in the video. So thank you, District 7190, for the chance to present this idea from the Liter of Light organization.
Wow, Adrian and Paul, that's an amazingly simple and effective tool. If you have questions, please write them in the chat box, providing your email. Now we move on to our next topic, water, roadway, beach, canal cleanups. From the other side of the world, please welcome Emily Stevenson, Beach Guardian, and Rotary's Young Citizen Award winner in 2019, along with a video on Rotarians from England and Northern Ireland. Emily, you have 5 minutes. What have you been able to accomplish? Emily, I think you're muted.
Oh, this is me. I'm sorry.
Okay, feel free to start.
Hi, I'm Emily Stevenson, co-founder of Beach Guardian down in the southwest of England. I'm currently on Trevone Beach in North Cornwall, and I've just done a beach clean and found all of this plastic that's washed in on the tide onto the beach. In 2019, I was delighted to be recognised by the Rotary Young Citizen Award. I love working with Rotary to help support and protect our environment, and every time I do work with Rotary, they're always so encouraging, helping me to grow and achieve my full potential. As an example, with collaborations we've done in the past, we've joined 3 of our local Rotary clubs on a litter pick for World Cleanup Day 2019, where we cleaned the riverbed in Truro, thus stopping all of the plastic from entering the ocean in the first place. It was absolutely phenomenal, and Rotary certainly delivered. We removed kilos and kilos of plastic from the environment. Beach Guardian aims to engage, educate and empower against plastic pollution. An example of this is when I wore my dress made out of Walker's crisp packets to my graduation in 2018. This, along with other campaigns at the time, led to Walker's introducing the very first nationwide crisp packet recycling scheme. The future is incredibly exciting for Beach Guardian, and I cannot wait for all of the future collaborations with Rotary and supporting them in their new area of supporting the environment.
I'm in Aberystwyth, and we've had a successful beach clean this morning. Plastic is becoming the scourge of the nation, and in Rotary we're pushing to have all clubs interested in the cleanup of plastics wherever they can, whether it be beach, river, canal, waterway, whatever, so that people can see what we're doing, people of action.
I saw that there was a clean going on today, and I thought I'd come along, and I didn't know it was anything to do with the Rotary Club, but I'm always looking for opportunities to help clean up the environment in any way I can.
Today has been about getting Rotarians from all up and down the coast to come and help here, so it's wonderful to see so many members here. The success I've seen so far is being told off by parents who say, we can't even get on the beach now without the kids doing a litter pick first, what's going on?
Okay, thank you, Emily, for that video. Do you have any more comments? You still have 2 minutes in your 5 minutes. Okay, I guess not. We'll move right on, catching up a little bit of time. If you're having any challenge digesting all this amazing information, how about our next topic, which is biodigesters? They are a natural way to produce cooking, fuel, and fertilizer. Let's hear now from Kathy Puffer, who owns Hudson Valley Vertical Farm and is the lead biogas educator for a community organization in Haiti. She's also a senior fellow of a public-private alliance foundation and co-founder of Solar Cities in Tulsa, New York. Wow, that's a mouthful. Kathy, you have 5 minutes.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I am so delighted to be here, and I am sharing my screen. And let's see, so you should see are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so it should say open source digester and gas storage. Do you see that?
Yes, we see that on the next slide, slide 9.
All right, fantastic. So I'm a co-founder of Solar Cities, Inc. It's a nonprofit that has an open source design for biodigesters, which you see in this picture. And I am very proud to be working with PPAF and Rose Bazil, and even with Roger Haynes now, promoting solar cookers and biodigesters together. And I have a video I'm hoping will play that explains what a biodigester is. Hi. My name is Kathy Puffer, head grower and farm owner for Hudson Valley Vertical Farms here in Tulsa, New York. We grow closed loop here in Tulsa using vertical aeroponics, which you see right here, and liquid fertilizer from biodigesters. So what makes it closed loop and so special is that we are literally recycling our food waste back into nutrient-rich fertilizer every single day using our basement biodigesters. So a lot of people have heard of the word biodigestion, but might not be that familiar with what a biodigester really is. We are all very intimately aware of how—
see the slides.
You don't see the slides?
If you could keep moving them on, then go with the audio and your slides.
All right, so were you able to see the video playing?
No.
No, all we got was your audio.
Okay, I can fix that. I can do a different screen share. That'll only take 1 moment because I had that queued up just in case. So hang on. All right. So I really wanted to show you the video because the video really helps with seeing what it was I was trying to share about how a biodigester works. And oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Technology is great when it helps you, right? All right, so you know what? I'm just gonna go back to the presentation because I have other pictures to share.
Okay.
All right, hang on.
Your slides.
All right, so what's really important is the fertilizer. With our friends in Haiti, we were very encouraged to see how quickly they embraced the use of the fertilizer from these anaerobic biodigesters. And what you see here in this picture, you should see Joe Snay and Sardell. They are the lead biogas teachers for the University in Notre Dame. And they have an agroforestry program as well as garden, and they use the liquid fertilizer from the biodigesters on that garden every day. And that's what we've seen in Cote d'Ivoire as well, is that they just are so excited about the fertilizer. So with the programs that we do, everything is hands-on learning, offering people the opportunity to learn a new skill, like how to build a biodigester, and opportunities to start their own business. So the hands-on learning is really important, and also creating these opportunities for women to learn how to use power tools and how to transition from using the propane to the biogas. So a large part of our program is empowerment by unlocking skills that were already there, such as helping them define the parts that they need locally for building the biodigester, which you see in the bottom picture, and then reconnecting to, instead of like throwing the food waste out into the back, you're going to be chopping it up and putting it into the biodigester, and thinking about these new patterns of use that they're now going to be using with the biodigester and with the liquid fertilizer. So one of the big benefits, of course, is the gas, and the easiest retrofit is to be using that for cooking fuel. And, we find that people who are used to using propane do very well transitioning to the biogas because they're used to the flame size that is needed for cooking the food. So in this picture, you see the stove that was retrofitted for biogas, and then also a coke stove that was made out of a coffee can. And these are some of the pictures I wanted to share with you that Rose had. This is like our most recent visit. So a lot of the food here is solar cooked, and the food that wasn't solar cooked was cooked with the biogas. So, you know, promoting both biogas and solar cooking together is really important because you can use the biogas in the evening and early morning where you don't have the good sun, and then you can be cooking with the sun during those warmer parts of the day. And, you know, thank you so much for having me. Here's some links so you can, you know, gain more resources for connecting with the organizations that I work with. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Kathy. If that's a lot to digest in 5 minutes, please choose Kathy's breakout session in about 20
Yeah,
minutes.
I'll have the video all queued up for the breakout, definitely. Thank you.
The video then, or you can ask your questions in the chat box and give us your email.
Yeah, I can put a link for the video in the
All
chat.
right, and now for something a little different. This will take us just a minute or two. What if you have an idea on the environment for your club, but it's too small to merit a formal project? Or what if you simply want to help keep environment or climate issues top of mind for your members because you think it's that important? Maybe you could approach your club president or agenda coordinator to start your club's Climate Action Minute, as we've done. We started that last month. Each week, we offer a brief snippet on a way that each member of our club can contribute in their own personal way to benefit the environment. On March 1st, we reminded the club about a simple way to reduce electricity expense in drying our clothes by either air drying or using inexpensive wooden or plastic dryer balls to help fluff clothes in the dryer and reduce dryer time. On March 8th, we talked for a minute about programmable thermostats to reduce heating and cooling expenses and fuels. On the 15th, we talked about LED light bulbs to replace our incandescents. On March 22nd, we offered a way for club members to become involved if they want in the political debates on climate change by joining an organization called the Citizens Climate Lobby in the US. In April so far, we've talked briefly about reducing plastic in our shopping bags and about how we can help increase renewable energy consumption, even if we can't put solar panels on our roof. Next slide. And here's a secret for you. Next Monday in our club, we'll be talking about a resource to start thinking about how the food we choose to eat impacts our climate. It's a book that just came out last Thursday and is available both in print and electronically, called Our Changing Menu: Climate Change and the Foods We Love and Need. I hope you can talk about it sometime soon in your Climate Minute at a Rotary Club meeting. Write me in the chat box along with your email address if you want to know more on any of these topics or have other short ideas we can use for our Climate Minute. I'll post a link now in the chat box where you can purchase that book if you're interested. Okay, our next topic comes all the way from Pakistan. With ideas on how to recycle for funds to support education, we welcome Shahzad Ahmed, past district governor in District 3272 in northern Pakistan. Shahzad has received the Service Above Self Award, the Regional Service Award for Polio Free World, and a citation for meritorious service for his work as a Rotary Zone coordinator. Shahzad, you have 5 minutes.
Thank you, Rob. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, let me share my screen. So can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, good. Good morning, everyone on your side of the world, and it is good evening here in Pakistan. And I would like to thank Lon and Janice for giving me this opportunity to talk to such a distinguished group of participants. And the topic assigned to me is recycling for a cause, supporting education. You have already done my introduction. Thank you for your kind introduction and nice words. I'll just skip it. So how did this all start? How it was started was that Ileani, who is actually from Brazil, she is a Rotary volunteer from Brazil who visited Pakistan as a teacher's trainer, and her trip was sponsored by the Rotary Club of Glenville and Rotary Club of Lower Garrison with support from the District 7190. And incidentally, Ileani is attending this conference. And to the left in the photograph is Ileani and my daughter Fatma, and of course, I am to the right. So when she was in Pakistan, so she trained teachers of Abru schools in Lahore. And she also went to Sheikhupura, which is about 1.5 hours drive from Lahore, and did some teachers training there. So while in Lahore, she saw waste on the roadside and suggested collection of recyclable waste and selling it. And initially, the Abru management did not really pick up the idea. And in fact, Ileani had to stress on it. So they started it on her insistence. And today, 30% of Abru schools' expenses are met through the sale of such recyclable waste. Okay, so we talked about the Abru school. So Abru school, actually, Abru Educational Welfare Organization has a network of 7 schools, and it provides free education to about 5,000 deserving students. The children belong to poor and underprivileged families. Education absolutely free of cost, no charge to these children. The students also get free meals and supplies such as uniforms, books, and stationery from the school. They also get free filtered water and medical checkups, this service is again provided free of cost to the students as well as their families. So Abru Education Welfare Organization, they now have a network of about 6,500 households, and 7 large corporate organizations are on their panel. And what they do is they visit these locations, the residences and the corporate organizations on a weekly basis, and collect the recyclable waste. The waste is brought to its collection center through 5 pickup vehicles. You can see one of them where a message is written in Urdu, in our national language. It says, your 1 month worth of waste can provide free education to a child for 1 full month. So the items, sometimes there are items which can be repaired. So these are repaired, and these are either utilized by the school or by the students, or these are donated. And the segregated waste is sold directly to the relevant businesses. Rotarians from all over the world, they come and visit Pakistan, and we to take them to the school. So here you can see a Rotarian past president from Lebanon, and then a past district governor to the right from the USA. Here again, a message in Urdu, the same message: donate your waste and send me to school. I also talked about Ileani. She is from Brazil. And when I visited Brazil, so she took me to some of the waste collection centers there, where the corporate organizations are formed. They collect the waste and sell it, and all the profit they distribute among themselves. They also have the machines where they compress it and pelletize the waste and then sell it. Other organizations are, of course, you can start a recycling store, or you can visit the recycling store for your purchases. You can also sell your products online. This is an example where we donated some used CDs and DVDs to a lady, to a young girl. And this is how she makes these decorative items and sells them. Okay, just last slide, where I take this opportunity to invite all of you to visit Pakistan, participate in the polio activities, do tourism or sightseeing, enjoy warm hospitality of the people of Pakistan, experience the real image of Pakistan. And at the end, I just thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak to you. I have already recognized and honored Ileani. Because of her suggestion, the school has an ongoing income generation stream. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shahzad. That's very impressive, and a lot of innovative ideas that I'm sure can be more widely shared. Please consider joining Shahzad's breakout session in about 10 minutes if you wish to know more about any of those types of projects. Well, what if we do one or more of those projects in every Rotary Club around the world that we've seen today? Will that be enough for the climate to stabilize and the environment to be cleaned up? Let's finish up before our breakout sessions by hearing from Jeff Leon, Strawberry Fields, Amsterdam, New York, about whether we may need to take even bigger steps and what they might be. Jeff, you have 10 minutes.
Well, thank you. And hello to you all, and thank you to the Rotary for this opportunity to share with you the steps we've taken to nearly eliminate our use of fossil fuels, our road to net zero for Strawberry Fields. But this is not a travelogue. This is a call to action. My name is Jeff Leon. I'm steward of Strawberry Fields. I'm an urban suburban refugee living my dream in rural country. I'm a dreamer, and I dream of a future that has a brighter climate forecast. I've been environmentally concerned for over 50 years and now have reached the point of certainty that doing less harm to our environment is absolutely not enough, nor are long-term efforts to help others do less harm enough, nor are natural climate solutions enough. We should keep doing those things, but we must find more substantial things that we can do. Each and every one of us also have to take more concrete actions to eliminate, not just limit, eliminate our use of fossil fuel if we really want to reverse what we used to call global warming, then called climate change, and which I now refer to, along with many scientists, as the climate emergency. There is no longer any doubt that the climate emergency is real and advancing even faster than scientists feared, and that rapid advancement is primarily caused by humans, by us. It is us. It is how we live our lives. And that's what we have to make some changes to. We've all seen this coming for quite a while, what is now the reality, and we've all over the years made changes to our lives in that time to mollify our concern for the planet and often to save some money. None of these changes have made our lives harder, and we now know that whatever we've done, it's pushed the world in the right direction, just not nearly enough. Now, there's too little time left before the worst, most unimaginable impacts of the climate emergency will become irreversible. 30 years. Isn't now the time, during an inflection point that has been approaching quite visibly for our entire lives and will continue until enough of us change even more? We need to take the climate emergency as seriously as we've taken the COVID emergency and keep after it for the rest of our lives. And we need to focus particularly on actions that will achieve the fastest reductions in future emissions. Before I go on, I want to make clear in this multinational setting that while my words could be applied anywhere in the world, that I am particularly addressing the developed world, whose per capita carbon footprints are so much higher than the rest of the world. I'm addressing people sort of like me. Now, this is a pretty pessimistic picture I've briefly painted. How do I keep going? I reject the hopeless idea that there's nothing else I can do. My kids and grandkids are already going to have tougher times than we've had. I have to try to make it even a bit better. It matters that we take bolder action. And we cannot let pessimism make us hopeless about the climate emergency. For me, pessimism is a powerful stimulus to action. In turn, action is an adequate defense against the losses we will continue to feel from the effects of the climate emergency, already, sadly, set loose. Fortunately, there's one very positive thing everyone can do, and not enough have done yet. Methodically eliminate or drastically reduce our fossil fuel usages by electrifying them with renewable energy. Yes, electrify everything uses fossil fuel and everything already electric with renewable energy. The slideshow that follows shows how Strawberry Fields got to net zero, but spoiler alert, I want you to know the two things everyone can do now and a third thing everyone should do when possible. So listen up. First, convert your electrical supply to 100% renewable preferably solar and wind energy. You can do this online with a renewable energy supplier. Second, make your next car 100% electric. Forget about the make and model you've loved and get an EV. You'll love it more. Or sell the car and ride your bike or public transportation. And third, cool and heat your home and hot water with heat pumps. If you heat with fuel oil or propane, you will repay your investment and continue to have fuel savings. And now I'm going to address the slides very quickly. Strawberry Fields is located in Amsterdam, eastern Montgomery County in the state of New York. Its 118 acres are protected in perpetuity from overdevelopment. It operates on a net zero sustainable basis, and it contains a family farm, working farm, a nature preserve with public trails. And I just to mention that the first shot and this one emphasize the sky. We love seeing the sky. It's one of the things we really love about living here. We started on the road to net zero in 2003. We arrived in 2013. And this is the condensed story of how we changed our lives to mitigate climate change. Next slide. So we start with an old house and we tighten it up by insulating it. And we've been working on that for 50 years, but over the last 10 years, we've done 2 blower door tests to find where the leaks are and tighten up the whole house and make it pretty energy efficient. Next slide. We get renewable energy from this solar array and another one. This is not the only way to get renewable energy. You can call a renewable energy supplier and sign up, switch your supply. You can join community solar. You can put up panels if you have a good space to do it. This array paid for itself in 5 years, and now all the electricity that it's producing is free to us. Next slide. We did it again the next year because it was so good. Both of these arrays have paid back their cost. All future generation from these arrays is zero cost. The panels are guaranteed for 25 years, so they will outlast me. So this was a very good deal, and it was made a better deal because we did it into a time when there was a big bailout bill. Remember the Obama bailout in 2009? There was money in there for renewable energy. Good news, there's another bailout bill coming with even more money for renewable energy. So next slide. What do we do with all that renewable energy? Well, first of all, we drive an electric car. This is our second one, a Chevy Bolt. There are now many electric car models coming. In some countries, there's even more than there are here, but it's very easy to switch to an electric car. We also converted our propane home heating system to geothermal that runs on an electric heat pump. The same with the propane water heater. We switched that out for a heat pump hot water heater. Both are much more efficient and cost saving. Both are paying themselves back again. Property maintenance, I mentioned the nature preserve. We do that on an electric ATV rather than a diesel tractor. The lawn is mowed with a lithium-ion battery mower, and all my hand tools now are battery operated. So that is the way you use renewable electricity. You swap out things that you were using that used fossil fuel or electricity that wasn't renewable. And next slide, please. So that was our road to net zero. I'm probably running out of time now. I'm going to give you the gravy for Strawberry Fields in a few minutes. We also have a working farm run by our son and daughter-in-law. It's a regenerative farm. It's no-till agriculture, organic certified, no pesticides, no herbicides, vegetables and flowers sold at local markets and through community-supported agriculture. And the next slide shows another shot of Strawberry Fields. You should know that each of these rows of crops actually grows 4 or 5 crops in a year. It's not like traditional farming where you plant a crop and that's it. Next slide, please. I mentioned that Strawberry Fields is also a nature preserve, 118 acres permanently protected from development by the Mohawk Hudson Land Conservancy, 3 miles of nature trails open to the public all year. Anyone can enjoy what Strawberry Fields has to offer. Thousands have visited. And all this is in behalf of the climate to try to get people to be more aware of nature and its connection to humanity. Next slide. This is one of the reasons they come, a favorite flower. I'm going to have to go fast because my time is running out. Some more favorite flowers. Another reason people come is birds. This is one of my favorites, the American bluebird. And the next slide is Canada geese. This is a wetland that we built in 2006 as a mitigation project. We replaced a 1/4 acre that was affected by a development 6 miles away with an 1.5 acres of wetland. Big benefit to the environment, big benefit to us, bringing in waterfowl wildlife to view for us. And I'll leave it at that. Thank you for coming to Strawberry Fields. And I'll look forward to answering questions. This is the Grandkids Conservation Corps. We're reestablishing American chestnuts on the property. We're also monitoring birds. I think that's the next slide. I'm not sure. Janice, is there another slide there? No, okay. Well, let me finish with that. And oh, there it is. Okay, so we're monitoring migratory birds. That started in July. Very interesting project. And we'll go to the last slide and conclude another sky view. I hope you enjoyed visiting Strawberry Fields. You now know that it's possible to get to net zero in a fairly short time. It's easier to do it today than it was when I started. And I hope you'll all join me in using renewable energy, driving an electric car, and heating with heat pumps.
Thank you so much. That's enough to inspire every one of us to take bigger steps. Those of us who want to hear any more, please ask your question in the chat box or choose Jeff's breakout session. It's time for breakout now to learn more on your choice of topics. If there isn't a session for your topic of interest, please write in the chat box about your interest in learning more and provide your email address, and we'll ask the speaker to contact you. Denise, I'll turn it over to you to open up the choices for breakouts.
Sure thing. So if you've never done a Zoom breakout room, you're going to see a box pop up with the opportunity to join a breakout session. The rooms are named for each of the sessions: educating girls, solar cooking, biodigesters, reuse and recycling, and taking even bigger steps. If you are having difficulty getting to a breakout room, do not panic. We will help you get there. Right now, the rooms are open. You can select a room and you will be taken right to that room.
That's fine. I just want to make sure that all the groups are back and we can then continue.
Okay.
You're all set.
Okay, thanks.
A couple of people got disconnected. But by the time I got back, it was like 1:43. So I couldn't, it was, you know, I explained that everyone would be back in a couple of minutes. So they just
okay.
hung out. So connectivity issues.
All right. Well, we hope you enjoyed the breakout sessions and learned a little bit more about the topic of interest to you. We will be sharing any of the comments and stuff as part of our email at the as follow-up to this. Next up, we have the challenge, where to start. We've given you a lot of information, but I'm going to let you, Lon and Bella, start off this part. Are they back?
They may need to
okay. Janice, would you mind showing the slides for us on this one?
I'd be happy to do that.
Glad we did that as a backup. Well, as I mentioned earlier, my wife and I thought we were doing our part. We even added solar to our roof. Next. But when we went to the UN's carbon footprint website, boy, what a shock. This is what the website calculated for us. It said the average person in the world uses 10 tons of CO2, or the average couple. In the US, the average couple is 33, and we were 81. And primarily it was due to flying, it was due to our traveling, flying and driving. We'll get them, yeah, next. So with all our gasoline cars and our plane travel, we were emitting 81 tons, 2.5 times as much as the average American. Our pledge is we will own a plug-in car within the next few months. We've requested a quotation for additional solar panels, and we'll try to fly less. We will continue to work to near zero or net zero like Jeff Leon did for our part. And that was Jeff's point. We can't wait for the government to do something. All 7 billion of us on the planet have to do something. And meanwhile, we're going to reduce emissions even more by investing in moon catchers, spreading the word, and purchasing offsets. Next. So this is the first time we've mentioned offsets. You see on the left side of the screen is we're planning a trip. We're flying, driving, getting in a hotel, and it's going to create a certain amount of CO2. The websites can tell you how much. So then on the right side, we balance that by investing in planting trees, solar, wind, or anything that reduces carbon. Next.
No, wait a minute, Lon. Carbon offsets are nice, but Lon, you are still polluting. If your neighbor and you are both polluting, like the 2 pipes on the left, and you purchase an offset, then your neighbor stops polluting, but you are still polluting, and the pollution has been cut only in half. If you really want to make a difference, you need to buy 10 times as much, so 10 of your neighbors stop polluting.
Okay, I promise to purchase lots of offsets, not just 1-to-1, but more. The UN website asked a few questions, calculated my C2, and offered the offsets to buy, so we can go there and buy them. These are certified offsets. Next.
Now, offset money goes directly to the project you pick, like efficient stoves, hydro plants, moon catchers.
The cost per ton for the first 2 projects are right on the UN website. You can invest, if you want to offset 10 tons, you can get an efficient stoves, and you would invest $100. Or for hydro plants, it's $1 per ton. And using the data in drawdown, what I'm calculating for moon catchers is at 17 cents a ton, making it really easy to offset a lot of that we're still polluting as we work our way to net zero. So for me to get rid of my 81 tons, I could do it by investing in stoves, $810, hydro plants, 81, those would be, or just $15 in moon catchers, just provide 3 girls of moon catchers. Now, and where the savings actually comes is because they'll have fewer children and their kids will have fewer children. It'll take a while for the offset to take effect. Next.
So today you've heard about the issues our environment faces and some really fantastic projects that positively impact our climate and are doable on some scale. You've been shown how to figure out your own carbon footprint, and you've heard about possible steps to take to reduce it. You've also learned about carbon offsets and how to purchase them. So we challenge all of you to the following. Calculate your footprint, and we will send links to the various sites where you can do that in our follow-up email. Make adjustments to your lifestyle to lower that footprint, and purchase offsets to get at least to zero until you can take on some of the bigger projects and bigger steps that Jeff Leon talked about. So you've also heard that buying offsets isn't the ultimate answer. So what is? Spreading the word to others. So again, another challenge. Set up a climate action committee in your club. But
so climate change is a political flashpoint, especially in the USA. 1 in 4 Americans think climate change is fake news. So tread lightly. Select projects taking the mood of your club into account. If all agree that the climate crisis is real, that's great. Otherwise, focus on the environment, clean air, reforestation, fish stock recovery, education, and so much more.
Next, introduce a climate action minute at your club meetings and make it fun. Rob McKenzie talked about this earlier today. You can come up with all different kinds of ideas to share with your club and motivate them. Also, have a teenager come and speak about climate change.
So inspire a teenager, of course. I have been passionate about this subject for a while, so I was ecstatic to speak about it at Rotary clubs. Even I learned more about the climate crisis from doing the research and writing down what I wanted to tell people about it. Teenagers have a lot to say about the cause too, and we are the future. So you can really ask any teenager to speak on it, and it will not only educate the audience, but it will teach and inspire the teenager too.
Prioritize climate action projects in your club. Turn every project into something that also incorporates things that will help the environment. Establish a district environmental support committee and host quarterly environmental project roundtables to share ideas between clubs. Set goals for percentage of members to reach net zero. Make it a competition. We all love that. And spread the word to other clubs and the community. Host composting workshops. Do an ocean, river, canal, beach, roadway cleanup, or conduct a mooncatcher moonbee and make mooncatcher kits. If everyone on the call can reduce their carbon footprint by 30%, and then they tell 3 other people who reduce their carbon footprint by 30%, and so on, we can start to make a big difference in our world.
193 countries have agreed to address the climate emergency. Those of us here today can take the lead to initiate action and encourage others to do likewise. There is no time for delay. The climate emergency is the biggest, most urgent problem we face. The girls will thank you. But most importantly, the earth will thank you.
And Bella and Lon, we thank you. Thank you, everyone. I think it's fair to say we all learned a great deal. Over the next 2 weeks, you'll receive a link with a recording of this event, plus contact information for all of the speakers and a list of resources that were discussed, links to the various sites we talked about, and answers to questions that you posted in the chat box. Thank you to District Governor Rich, to all of our speakers and moderators, to Denise Donato for technical assistance, and to each and every one of you for joining us and carrying this information back to your clubs, your family, and the world. Wherever you are in the world, have a great day and carry on with the great work we're all doing.
And I would like to thank everybody who presented, everybody who participated. Thank you so much, because this is just going to help get the word out for Rotary's new 7th area of focus. And, you know, well, most of the time district governors, they have a theme just beyond what our Rotary Opens Opportunities theme was. I'm going to leave you with something, if it's okay, Janice. I think you might know what this is. I have a video that I compiled for my district. So anybody that wants to stay on and kind of see a snapshot of District 7190 over the past few years, I'm going to play the video. If you're here when I get back, that's fine. If not, enjoy it and have a great day. And some of the presenters will see themselves in the video. So give me a second. I know I didn't talk to you about this, but we should be okay to let this go.
Thank you, DG Rich.
Oh, you're welcome. Well, I know I had it in the background. Let's hope it that it plays out.
Happy surprise. Stay on the line if you can.
Come on. Nope, now it's not. All right, let me go back and share. Oh, I had it all set up too. All right, maybe I might be, let me just try one other thing and I can get back to this.
Is it on your desktop?
It's on, yeah, it's on my desktop, Denise. Let me stop the share and just go to my desktop.
In Boy Scouts, we call this Plan B.
Yeah, I know. So let me just bring it, see if I can get it to come up. Can you see it?
You have to share.
What?
You have to share.
Oh, okay, hold on. Let me go back. All right, share screen. And do we see it now?
Not yet.
No,
No.
I hear it.
I hear it.
Oh, you could hear it?
Yes, but we're not seeing it.
All right. What do you think, Denise? What other option? I did have it in the background to share originally. So maybe it got knocked out. All right. Well, I'll give it one more try. And see if I can get it to come up.
Share first and then try to open it.
Okay. Do you see it?
No.
You're just hearing it, right?
Yep. You didn't share your screen.
All right. I don't understand why. All right.
All right. Do you trust me to take control of your screen?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, you have to hit share first, Rich.
Okay.
Just share any screen.
All right. All right, let me share it. There you go.
Okay, now where is your video?
It's right here, Million Dreams.
So play it.
Do you see it now?
Yep.
Yep.
Yes. Okay. There you go. Thank you.
I close my eyes and I can see a world that's waiting up for me that I call my home. Through the dark, through the gold, through where no one's been before, but it feels like home. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say you've lost your mind. I don't care, so call me crazy. We can live in a world that we design. 'Cause every night I'm in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the world I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. There's a house we can build. Every room inside is filled with things from far away. Special things I compile, each one there to make you smile on a rainy day. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say we've lost our minds. I don't care if they call us crazy. Run away to a world that we design. Brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams keeping me awake. What the world could be, vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're in. However small, let me be part of it all. Share your dreams with me. You may be right, you may be wrong, but say that you'll bring me along to the world you see, to the world I close my eyes to see. I close my eyes to see. Tonight I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me. A million dreams, a million For the world we're gonna live.
That is so beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.